This is Parag, your host on Stay Strong podcast. It's my promise to bring you the world-class information in the field of kettlebells, kettlebell sport, and strength and conditioning. Today we have a guest from Scotland. Her name is Caz, and she has a very huge martial arts background before she became a competitive athlete in kettlebells. Her coach introduced kettlebells to her, and she started lifting kettlebells 7 years back. Since 7 years, she has played several competitions all across the globe, and now she is looking forward to competing World Championship, playing 3 events, out of which one she is playing a professional event lifting 24 kilos kettlebell. This would be her first experience. Please help me welcome Caz to understand what kind of workout, what kind of program she do, what kind of nutrition she follow, and what kind of mindset she has. Hello friends, welcome back to Stay Strong podcast. We have Caz from Scotland this time, and it's my mission to interact with women who are 45 who have done specifically well after the age of 45, and trying to motivate the women out here in India to get into kettlebell sport. Over to you, Caz. Welcome to Stay Strong podcast. Please give me your fitness and professional background.
I must say 47. I think 47 now.
Okay.
I used to do a lot of martial arts, not much at school. During my sort of schooling time, there was a lot of school strikes with the teachers, so extracurricular activity wasn't much, and it was very much either hockey or basketball for girls. There wasn't much choice of different sports for girls, and it wasn't until I was 21, 22 I got involved with martial arts.
Yeah.
Thai boxing, Jin Fang, Kung Fu, Filipino martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and did that for several years. And then in the last 7 years, sort of swapped over to 7-8 years, swapped over to kettlebells. I got introduced through the martial arts as a sort of complementary to the martial arts training, and my coach now, we used to do martial arts together, Ray Wilson.
Okay.
We did a lot of martial arts together, and that's how we know one another, and he kind of got further involved with the kettlebells a few years before me and really just took off with it, and then I kind of joined him a few years later.
Okay.
He became my coach. So
that's your introduction to fitness. And what is your professional background?
Professionally, what I do just now for the last 9 years is I work for offshore. Well, I don't work offshore now, but I train guys that work on oil rigs to put fires out in the platforms and on the heli decks if something goes wrong when a helicopter lands.
Okay, so it's your full-time job?
Yes, yeah, Monday to Friday, 8 to 4.
Okay. And the martial arts, do you still practice martial arts, or you're just now into kettlebells?
Not so much now, mostly just kettlebells now. I may after competitions like the Worlds that's coming up, I may kind of get a bit more back into a couple of things, but I think just now just focus on my world competition, and then maybe. Okay.
Yeah, it is seen that people with endurance background, martial arts is endurance background, do well in kettlebells because kettlebells is mostly endurance too. And how is martial art helping you in kettlebell sport? So do you still practice martial arts to improve your kettlebells, or you are just like, okay, it's done with the martial arts, I'm just into kettlebells? How it is? What does your training program look like?
Yeah, I don't think I would. I'm not going back to martial arts just now, but definitely when we first started the kettlebells, it wasn't so much sports stuff we were doing, sort of like longer endurance sets. It was very much more sort of ballistic, heavier swings and stuff to get that sort of oomph, that ballistic sort of movements, sort of to relate back to sort of your punching, your kicking, and just the good energy levels for endurance and fitness. And then I think just the longevity of sort of conditioning for like 3, 4, 5, 6 minute rounds of boxing, kickboxing, whatever, I think that sort of follows through to the endurance side of the kettlebells. Of don't give up.
Yes, yes.
Like, even when you want to put those bells down so desperately.
Yes, yes.
Don't give up.
Yes, yes.
I
Great.
think just that.
Okay, so who formally introduced you the kettlebell sport? Like, did you happen to see kettlebell sport happening around you, or you just happened to how did you get the information about the kettlebell sport? Because you said that you use kettlebells while you're doing martial arts, but again, using kettlebells for conditioning and doing kettlebell sport is different. So what was your first encounter?
Well, again, it was through my coach, Ray Wilson.
Okay.
So like he got introduced to it through martial arts, through Guy Rannick, that came up and did a workshop with us. And then he kind of went further into more the sports side for a couple of years in front of me. And then I wanted a wee bit of a change from the martial arts, and then kind of got in touch with Ray for just some fitness stuff. And then there was a bit more sports stuff, and Ray just slowly drips it in, the sports stuff, into it to introduce more people. Because it's a very, I wouldn't say bizarre, that's not the right word, but it's a very unknown sport.
Yes.
And it's not like an obvious sport. People say, oh yeah, I do kettlebells, and they do like a wee kettle size class, or, you know, like a fitness class and that.
Yes,
but they don't realize there's the sports side of it as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Same here in India, because people are not much aware of kettlebell sport as a sport, because it's been like over 9 years I'm promoting kettlebells here in India, and still when I conduct seminars and workshops, people are still not aware of kettlebells as a sport, because the sport itself is not much developed, and it is not actually getting, you know, that reach what unlike the other sports are there. But eventually the time will come where people will be doing a lot of kettlebell sport, like typical weightlifting. So that's great. What was your first competition, Caz? When did you play your first competition?
Yeah, I was trying to look back. My first competition was 2015, which was the Scottish Open.
Okay.
And that was, I was trying to find through my certificates and stuff. It was a 16 kilo, single 16 kilo long cycle.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, I was trying to find photos, but probably around about 100 reps.
Okay.
And I have got a little video, I think I did find a video, and I look back and I thought, oh, my technique.
Yes.
Oh, but that's what I like about the kettlebell, is you can see your progress. And I think it's only your progress, for me, that you can improve. You know, it's so good to see amazing female lifters, like Abigail Johnston, Kimberly Fox, Tracy Howson, you know, loads of others lifting amazing weights.
Yes.
But what I like is that everybody has their own personal battles and their own achievements that they're going through in that time. And it's great to see we've got a couple of even older than me ladies that you can put down for your interview, Kathleen Oswald and Lynn, I'm going to try and pronounce her second name, was it? that are into their late 60s, 70s.
Yes.
And they've lifted for our Scottish team several times now. Okay. And I think that's great to see women of that age still absolutely smashing it.
Yes, yes. And that's basically like a benchmark for you, because you can understand that at what level you can go. For example, if you're 47 and you can see a woman who's 57 lifting, you know you still have 10 year, 15 year, 20 year of lifting.
Definitely.
So that's the most inspirational part of this journey of the kettlebell sport, and why this podcast, people will be inspired to lift more. So yeah, that's really great. Yeah. Now I need to understand that, Caz, when you're lifting kettlebells, what is the main challenge you encounter, which you didn't encounter when you were young? What I mean to say is, today you're 47 and it's been 6-7 years you're lifting kettlebells, right? So for example, if you're lifting kettlebell at the age of 42, and now you're lifting at the age of 47. What is the main challenge you see now? Is it a mind or is it something else? What do you feel?
There's always the mind, definitely, with lifting kettlebells. I think you've just got to kind of mental sort of challenge of still hanging on, keeping going. Just general recovery. I think as you get older, you look back on days where you did lots of martial arts and you got a wee injury, a wee niggle, you never really stretched off very much. But now I think just recovery is one of the best things that I kind of need to be much more aware of as you get older, I think. That I definitely feel. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel that you're not giving up, then you're doing well. But at the age of 55, 60, at times when you're lifting kettlebells, we feel that, why I'm really doing this? I mean, do I really need to do it? Does these kind of thoughts come to your mind?
I feel that many a time. Why am I doing this?
Yes.
Why am I putting myself through this? But I think it's always at the end,
So how do you deal with this, Caz? How do you deal with these thoughts?
Thoughts is sometimes it's just zoning out and going. I think the easiest thing is just one rep at a time.
Okay. When
you're really struggling there, you're just going, right, why am I doing this? It's because I've put myself for a challenge. I know I'll feel great at the end. Even if it's a bad set, a good set. If it's a bad set, you know what? It's a bad set. And I had a bad set last week with one of my sets that I got from my coach. And it was like, well, at least I did something, yes. Than doing nothing, yes. And I think that's the thing, as you get older, it's very easy to sit on the couch, watch these things, keep a thing. But I think you need the challenge physically and mentally, yes. to keep yourself going.
Yes, I understand. I mean, mental is a big thing, and specifically when it comes to recovery at this age, it's at times difficult, because if you're not able to get a complete 8 hours of sleep, plus your vitamins, the nutrients, what you're taking has to be optimum. Do you also take any kind of supplements to support your activity of the training? Because if you'll see different continents, like different countries, some have rich quality of the food, and at times you really do not need much supplement. But there are many countries who want to have more supplements rather than getting the complete nutrients from the food. What is your take on that?
I'm not really one for taking a lot of supplements. I do just try and take a good variety of food, meat and stuff. Like last week when I said I didn't have a good set, I looked back and I went, well, actually I didn't really have any carbs, too much for my meal on Tuesday. I didn't really have anything for lunch. So I think I just crashed. So I think sometimes you just become a bit more aware of what you're eating. Yes. I will take the odd protein shake and stuff, but apart from that, not really much else. Supplement wise, I just try and take a good all round balanced food.
Okay. So are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian?
No. I try to I might have vegetarian food one night of the week, chicken another night, fish quite a lot, not so much red meat, maybe once a fortnight sort of for red meat, but mostly chicken and fish and sort of vegetarian.
Okay. Have you got any negative experience, Caz, after kettlebell lifting? Maybe any kind of injury or anything else, if you want to share? And how did you deal with it?
I'm trying to think if I had. The only thing I've had is just sort of small back niggles. Thankfully, I've been, touch wood, quite lucky. Injury-wise, I've not had anything too major, and it's just, I think the hardest thing is to take time to rest,
yes,
and recuperate, and then maybe get physio or something. And then it's just being sensible when you do come back to lifting, that you don't push yourself too much, too quickly, too soon.
Yes.
Can be.
Yes. Okay. So you have not got any negative experience as such when it comes to kettlebells?
No. I think in general it's really helped just with everything. there, but yeah, small, but that could have come from work.
Okay.
As well, so not necessarily from kettlebells. Hand problems,
Yes. Calluses.
Which tells the technique, but yeah, a few hand rips.
Yes.
But part and parcel.
Yes. Very important thing is, as a competitive athlete, we all face that the number of repetitions what we decide to do, and many times we do not meet the goal. Say for example, you want to do 120 repetitions in 10 minutes OALC, and you do 100, or maybe you do 110. So you fall short of 10 or maybe 20 repetitions as per the goal set. How do you deal with it? Like, do you what kind of thoughts you have, and how, like, do you have interaction with the coach? Is there change or the some flaws in the programs? How do you deal with it?
I think, well, last week, just like say that was a bad set. Sometimes, he'll give me my sets, Ray will give me my sets and say, right, this is the rep range I'm looking for this week. And he is, I know he's trying to push me, sort of thing. So some days, yeah, you hit the numbers, and other days you don't. But it's just like, right, well, let's chalk it up for experience. 5 reps instead of the 8 reps is better than no reps. So it's trying to keep that mental thoughts, because it is very easy to go, oh, this is rubbish, and kind of get very negative, and then you start losing yourself, and you go, okay, well, this minute I'm just going to do 5 reps, take a bit of a rest, and then we'll go again. Because I think it was Italy, my first international competition with double 16s, long cycle. I just died about 7 minutes, just bells had to go down. I had nothing left, but I think that was an experience for myself. It's all exciting. We weren't uplifting till late. For us, Italy is a very hot country. Yes. Compared to Scotland, so heat, dehydration. You've been standing all day because you want to support all your teammates.
Yes.
So by the time you get up at 5 o'clock, you feel a bit done. So, but at the same time, it was a great experience, and you've just got to take everything, the good with the bad, I guess.
Okay. So when you travel internationally, even you're in Europe, like, how do you deal? Like, for you guys, the food is not an issue, but when it comes to climatic conditions, how do you deal with it? So do you take your trainings to extremes? Like, if you're training in cold climate, do you train in hot climate? Or if you're training in hot climate, do you train in cold climate? How do you manage that when it comes to competitions?
Sometimes we'll try, and like the gym just now, we'll have the windows open because it does then get warm, but we have been trying to keep them a little bit closed just to try and get a little bit warmer conditions for some of our sets in the gym. To go across, it's nice to get there a day or so early, just to get a little bit more acclimatized to the temperatures. Unfortunately, work and stuff, like for Porto in a couple of weeks' time, unfortunately my plane gets in about 5 o'clock on the Thursday. I have to weigh in the Thursday night, and I'll probably be lifting on the Friday, so not much time to acclimatise. But everybody, I guess, has similar problems at some point.
Yes.
If you come to Scotland, brag to lift.
Yes.
You'll have lots of layers on.
And I really love the cold climate. You have no idea, because I have stayed in Michigan for a couple of years, and I have seen -10, -20, -30. Michigan, it's very cold in the US. I was working there, and I'd been to Europe many times, not a couple of times, many times. So I really love the cold climate, and I really look forward to come to your country once.
Oh, brilliant!
For sure. Yeah. Have you trained without a coach? How was your experience? And training with the coach, how is your experience, Caz?
I've always been quite lucky with Ray, with coming up to competitions and stuff. He's always been pretty good at, right, what's your aim, what we're thinking of, what's your sort of mindset, where do you want to go for this competition, what is your aim? And he's been pretty good at saying, maybe not that now or this now, and then programming and, like say, pushing.
Okay.
But I'll also have the understanding of, we still work full time.
Yes.
We've got to kind of put in family and friends and, downtime, relaxation time into the programming as well. But he will push. And I think just knowing, like, I've got normally about 3 sets to do a week for my training program, and then a general fitness class with some of the sports stuff in as well. And he'll give me that programming and just kind of going in, just having something in mind of, right, this is what I've got to do tonight, this is what my thing, rather than going in and going,
yes.
If I go in not knowing what the plan is, then I tend to chat.
Yes.
You get distracted and you
Yes.
don't.
Yes.
And then it's nice to be able to go at the end of the set, go, I've done that tonight. Oh, that wasn't so good. That was a better one. And kind of thinking, right, why wasn't that such a good set? Why was that a better set? So it's nice just to have that progress and see the progress written down as well.
Okay, great. Now, as the competitions are coming, like you are going to the Worlds, we have many athletes coming from all over the world to Porto. This specifically would be for some of the lifters who would want to take away from this podcast is what kind of preparation do you do, especially a couple of weeks before the competition, 2 weeks before?
So for preparation?
I mean, what is your prep physically and mentally a couple of weeks before? And even as you land there, how are you prepared mentally?
That's a hard question sometimes.
Yes, I understand.
Excited. It's always that excitement of, something new, somewhere new. And I think just try and get your head in, like, just enjoy it. You can only do what you can do. Yeah, I know there's going to be some amazing lifters doing far more reps than me next to me on the platform. There's going to be maybe somebody doing less reps than me, but it's just trying to stay focused to what you've been doing over your training program and not try and get carried away.
Yes.
Like, I've got a test set this week, but tomorrow for my 24 long cycle.
Okay. So you're doing OLC?
Yes, 1 arm long cycle with a 24 and 16 kilo snatch, and still the 1 arm long cycle with 16 as a backup.
So you're doing 3 events,
3 lifts,
Wow, interesting. Great. Great. I wish you good luck for the events, and I'm sure you'll do well. Yes, and you really have a very big preparation because there are 3 events, so you have to rest well, and of course you have to take care of your nutrition as well. Great. So viewers, I would like to know your best lifting records that you have done nationally and internationally in marathon and in 10-minute classic. If you can just share that with us.
I had to look back there. So
sure. The best ones, just one.
So marathon, I've done half marathon with a 16 long cycle. And
OLC, okay.
1 arm long cycle with a 16.
So that was in which country?
That was in Spain, in Antequera, in 2011. So that was 348 reps.
Okay.
With a 1 arm long cycle.
Okay.
Previous to that, Ireland, before COVID, 2 arm long cycle with a 16.
Okay.
66 reps.
Okay. It's nice.
And snatch with a 16, 162. So that's kind of where. So I would like to get around about 180 towards the 200 this time.
Yes, you'll get it. That's nice.
Yeah. What else? looking for pentathlon stuff
Okay.
as well. Which is more, I've not done that internationally yet, but UK wise, my best total score was 1,162 points.
Okay. Okay.
So for anybody going pentathlon wise,
Okay.
so that one goes. So,
Great. Thanks for sharing. It's
That's
a great inspiration and kind of a very good benchmark for the women lifters out here in India.
mhm.
Okay, so the last message from your side to the women lifters out here in India, from not only from India, for rest of the world, if you would want to share your experience and maybe give a very strong message.
Just the best thing is get involved, and it's your battle, it's your sort of progress that counts. Doesn't matter what somebody else is doing next to you, doesn't matter what somebody else is doing the other side of you. It's as long as you give what you can put into it, you'll get whatever you put into it, you'll get that back out, I would say. You know, it's great. We've had a lot of, this last year after COVID, we've had a lot of newer ladies kind of getting involved with the sport
Yes.
side of things, and it's great to see them progressing on a total massive learning curve and just massively improving from that point. And say it's your own battle. It's just go for it. Do it. Do it.
Great.
Do it.
Great.
Get
Thank you.
involved in it.
Great. Thank you, Caz. Thank you very much for your time. And it was a great learning for me as well, and a great message to the lifters. It's your own battle, you have to fight it out.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you very much. I wish you loads of luck for the
Thank
World
you.
Championships which are happening in Porto. And
Thank you
I'm
very much.
sure you will carry 3 gold medals back to Scotland.
Well, thank you. I like your positivity. But thank you very much.
100%. Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you and have a nice time.
Nice to speak to you. Take care. We'll hope we see you soon.